KA Bullets YouTube channel.
Hurry up, now tell us why you're here.
Ron Blaster has a new look, and his rival, WJ Lights, will start at pole position for the second race, where Todd Marcus would wreck these cars on lap 369. And Aiken Axler is out for 4 races because of Kyle Traxon. Why? And now he's out because he hit the wall because of Darren Leadfoot. Hooray! But he doesn't win. Mark Carton wins the second race. But you're probably wondering who starts at pole position for the third race. But Andrew Axler will be back to replace his son Aiken for 4 races. Bobby Carboni starts at pole position for the third race, where Sammy Smelter, oh no, he's out for the season because of John Hicks. Why? Jeff Burnton would lead the most laps with 182. The car that lead the second most laps is his brother Ward, who'd lead 81. And Jeff Burnton, alongside his older brother Ward, almost won the third race. But in the end, Hollingus would win the third race, not one of the Burnton brothers. Bobby Carboni would start at pole position again for the fourth race, where Lee Revkins gets flipped on lap 158 because of Krusty Rotor. Why? And Ken Schrader is out because of Eugene Karbareski. Well, of course that happened, and Krusty Rotor would only lose by 9 feet to Jeff Gorvette, and Jeff Gorvette would win the fourth race. And somehow Todd Marcus will start at pole position for the fifth race, where he wrecks 8 cars. Why? Tony Gasworth will lead the most laps in the race, leading just 32 before the King would win the fifth race, when he led for a total of 5 turns. Kevin Shiftright will start at pole position for the sixth race, and he leads the most laps with 133. But Kyle Traxon wrecks 17 cars on the last lap, but Murray Clutchburn gets through the wreck and wins the sixth race. The King will start at pole position for the seventh race, where Dale Earnhardt is out because of Todd Marcus. Why? Did you also wreck 9 other cars? And Kevin Shiftright would almost win his first race, but in the end, Rowley Boltstrike wins his 11th race, the 7th race of 1999. Chuck Armstrong will start at pole position for the 8th race, and Rusty Wheelhouse would lead every other lap. How does any car lead all but 1 lap? And of course, Rusty Wheelhouse wins the 8th race. Mark Carton would start at pole position for the 9th race, where Ricky Slood goes into the catch fence on lap 145 because of Todd Marcus. Why? And Rowley Boltstrike would almost win the 9th race, but in the end, the King would beat him to the line, and that means the King wins the 9th race. Jeff Gorvette will start at pole position for the 10th race, where Ruby Easy Oaks would go airborne because of Nick Charger. What? And he's out for the season. Ivan Yoder's also out for the season when he was running in 5th place. And since no one else was trying, Dale Carrett will win the 10th race. Tony Gasworth will start at pole position for the 11th race, where Kyle Traxon is out because he hit the wall when trying to wreck Terry Carboni, who is first as of lap 399. But then he's out because of Dale Earnhardt, who does a pit maneuver. Why? And that means that he wins the 11th race. Another car that doesn't do such nice things. Ryan Thunderbolt Jr. would start at pole position for the 12th race, where Rowley Boltstrike has a career-ending crash, which is extremely sad because of Kyle Traxon, who will be suspended for the rest of the season for causing the crash. Rusty Wheelhouse would almost win the 12th race, but in the end, the King would win the 12th race. But both cars had something to say. The King had this to say about Rowley Boltstrike's career-ending crash, and Rusty Wheelhouse had this to say. Yes, the green and the brown car are mean cars. Sterling Carlin will start at pole position for the 13th race, where Eugene Kobareski is out because of Ken Schrader. Well, of course this happened, and Johnny Blamer would actually get a top 10. Hooray! And Bobby Carboni would finish first, which means that he wins the 13th race. Ken Schrader would start at pole position for the 14th race, where Todd Marcus caused another crash. Why? And Dale Earnhardt would easily win because he's the absolute best at this track. Jeff Gorvette will start at pole position for the 15th race, and there's no cautions! Hooray! And Ron Blaster would lead the most laps with 83, but that isn't enough to beat Dale Earnhardt, who wins the 15th race. Why? Because he didn't have an engine failure like Ruby Easy Oaks, who starts at pole position for the 16th race, where Sterling Carlin is out because Ryan Thunderbolt Jr. hit him with his tire, which means he'll be suspended for the next 2 races. Todd Marcus would only lose by 6 feet to Murray Clutchburn, who wins the 16th race. The car starts at pole position for the 17th race is Billy Oil Changer. And Hall Angus would lead the most laps with exactly 100 laps. And also, Jeremy Carfield would only lose by 10 feet to Jeff Gorvette, who wins the 17th race. A car that certainly didn't win was Joe Brakecheck, and he starts at pole position for the 18th race, where WJ Lights is out because of Ron Blaster. Why? And Ron Blaster has this to say. By the way, this is Sonic. And back to the race. Dale Earnhardt would almost win the 18th race, but he lost to the other Dale Earnhardt, who wins the 18th race. But Chick Hicks is back! Jeff Gorvette will start at pole position for the 19th race, where Chick Hicks wrecks 17 cars! And Ron Blaster would be out because of WJ Lights. And WJ Lights had this to say. By the way, who's Super Mario? This is Super Mario. And Chick Hicks would lose by 4 feet to Dale Earnhardt, who wins the 19th race. I'm glad that Dale Earnhardt won the 19th race. And also, Jeff Gorvette would start at pole position for the 20th race, where Chick Hicks wrecks 15 cars, but now he's out because of Rusty Wheelhouse. Hooray! Didn't he say he was going to wreck him earlier? And also, Tony Gasworth is first with 2 to go, but then he runs out of fuel, which gives the win to Jeff Burton, who wins the 20th race. A car that finished nowhere near the front gets the pole for the 21st race, and that car is Chuck Armstrong, who doesn't get wrecked by Chick Hicks, who jumps over other cars, like Dirksen de Agostino, who goes airborne on lap 343, and Ken Schrader is out. Both of these is due to Eugene Kobareski wrecking other cars. Why? And WJ Lights would almost win the 21st race, but in the end, his friend the King would complete a last lap pass to win the 21st race. Krusty Rotor would start at pole position for the 22nd race, where Dale Earnhardt does a bump and run on Krusty Rotor, and Chick Hicks would continue wrecking other cars, which included Misty Motocross, which means that Claude Scruggs had something to say. I hope Claude Scruggs does that. But Dale Earnhardt would easily win the 22nd race because it was the same track that he won the 14th race at. And Hollingus would start at pole position for the 23rd race, where Chick Hicks is luckily out because of Rusty Wheelhouse. Hooray! And Rusty Wheelhouse has this to say to Hollingus. But Hollingus would only lose by 2 feet to Mark Curtin, who once again wins the 23rd race. And this is how close the finish was. Ron Blaster will start at pole position for the 24th race, where Chick Hicks would wreck 21 cars. And now he's out with 1 to go because of Manny Flywheel, who wins the 24th race. Everyone is cheering on Manny Flywheel, including Rusty Wheelhouse, who starts at pole position for the 25th race, where Chick Hicks would wreck 18 cars, which didn't include Dale Earnhardt, but he's out because he hit the wall. And Chick Hicks would lose by 11 feet to the King, who wins the 25th race. Yup, Chick Hicks deserves to finish behind the King. And also, Eugene Carbareski will start at pole position for the 26th race, where he's out on lap 1 because of Ken Schrader. Well, of course this happened. And also, Chick Hicks would wreck 15 cars. One of them was not Billy Oil Changer, because he would lead the most laps with 144. And he'd lead the last 15, which means that he wins the 26th race. And now he's in the top 20. And Tony Gasworth sits in the top 10 in his very first season. Somehow, Ron Blaster is ahead of WJ Lights, and Eugene Carbareski isn't in the top 20.
Remember to press the notifications button, which goes ring, ring, ring after you press it. And lightning strikes back, and that's as if you subscribed, of course. And thank you for watching this entire video.
The 1999 Piston Cup Races 27-35 will be coming out tomorrow. And that's all I had to say at the end of the video.